Hey guys, and welcome to our second training video for our walk through the Bible stuff for our big room. I know it has been a while since we've done this, and it's been a while since we've had big rooms, so we have a lot to cover today. A couple of things that I wanted to make you aware of is with our slides, we're going to go really fast, as in you've probably noticed that the kids are doing 3 to 4 in their lesson every week. They're learning about 3 to 4 books of the Bible. And so with that, we're going to go fast with those pictures. However, our motions are going to be rather slow. These hand motions, there's a lot in the beginning of the Bible, especially in Genesis. And then the closer to the minor prophets we get, the less motions there will be. So just be patient, because it's we're gonna kind of go through the pictures, and then we'll come back and we'll do the motions, and we'll probably still be on Genesis this week. So this week we're gonna go ahead and talk about the pictures real quick. And so in our last session we talked about the 3 books. We talked about Genesis, Exodus, and Leviticus. And so remember, Genesis is about beginnings, and you see the big N in Genesis. And so the next book is Exodus, and Exodus is about the big exit. And Leviticus is about offerings and feasts with Levites and priests. And so Leviticus. And so then the next books that we're going to talk about, the next book is Numbers. And so Numbers is all about the Israelites wandering around in the desert for 40 years. And so Numbers is about wanderers. Okay? And the next book of the Bible is Deuteronomy. And so with Deuteronomy, you see here we have a man. And you see we have 2 stone tablets back here. We have 2 stone tablets here. They're running, and you can see that they are singing. And so the idea here is duet. It's a duet too. Run on me, Deuteronomy. Okay? So, and you see here that these say second law, these tablets, and these back here say first law. So Deuteronomy is about the second law. It is when Moses gave the second law, in addition to the 10 Commandments. So there's Deuteronomy. The next is Joshua. And Joshua is about conquerors. And you see here Joshua is coming through, and he's stomping on Jericho. And you see him coming through as Joshua was a general of the Lord's army. And so you see that here. And so Joshua is about conquerors. The next book is Judges. And you see here we have the judges on motorcycles, and you see the number 7, and there's 7 judges. And so this picture is about Judges is about cycles, and so we went through 7 cycles of Judges. And so every man did what was right in his own eyes, and so that is what Judges is about. It's about cycles of going through the different judges and how they ruled on things. And so then the next book is about Ruth. And Ruth is about the love story of her and Boaz. And so here you see Ruth and Boaz. And so that is, and so the idea of this little picture here is, since Ruth is about a love story, you see that the Ruth is a book. And so that's a romance book. And so the idea is Ruth is Ruth, okay? So that's the little play on the picture here that they show. And so the next book of the Bible is 1 Samuel. And 1 Samuel, how we know this is 1 Samuel, is first you see a sand sculpture here. I'm going to lay these down. You see a sand sculpture here. And what do you see? You see a sand mule. And you see 1. So first Samuel, okay? And 1 Samuel is about Saul. And how we know this is Saul is he has a crown on his head. He's very kingly looking. He has a saw in his hand. And you see right here, Saul has no heart. He had no heart for the Lord. And so that's the idea here is First Samuel is about Saul. Okay? The next book of the Bible is Second Samuel. And guess what? In this one, we have 2 Samuels, and here is King David. And so 2 Samuel is all about King David. And we know this is David because he has his harp, he has a crown, and you see that David has a whole heart. So David had a whole heart for the Lord. And so this is 2 Samuel. Okay. So now that we've gone through the pictures, we're going to get back to our emotions. And so remember, we're going to do a little refresher course on our emotions. And so we started out in Genesis in the very beginning. So I'm going to back up a little bit here. So the very first thing was creation. Then we did the fall, the flood, and the nations. And all of that happened in 4,000 years. Okay, now the next thing that we come to is we're going to talk about Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. And so to move into that section of Genesis, we're going to talk about Israel. And so this is how we do it. Israel. And Ishmael, Isaac. Ishmael, Isaac. We're just going to point at each eye. Ishmael is going to be your right eye, and Isaac's going to be your left eye. So, ready? Israel. And you're going to hold up both fingers, Ishmael, Isaac. Okay? And so next we have Esau. Esau was the Bible describes him as a hairy man. So Esau, like you're rubbing the hair on your arm, Esau. Jacob, he had very smooth skin as the Bible describes, and so we're going to rub our face like this. So Esau, Jacob. The next person we'll talk about is Joseph, and Joseph had the coat of many colors. So you say, you're going to pick up your shirt and kind of tug at it like this, and you're going to say, Joseph, and you're going to point this way. We're pointing to Egypt, and so you're going to say, Joseph, Egypt, and then the Jews went to Egypt, which now we've entered into Exodus, okay? So once we've done that, we've entered into Exodus. And so then the next motions will be about Moses. But today, this is all we're going to talk about. So let's start at the beginning again. So creation, fall, flood, nations, 4,000 years. Israel, Ishmael, Isaac, Esau, Jacob, Joseph, Egypt, Jews, Egypt. And when we do that Jews thing, I forgot to explain the idea of the little cap that the Jews wear. You're just going to kind of place your hand there where that would be and just point out to Egypt. So ready? Let's start from the top. Creation, fall, flood, nations, 4,000 years. Israel, Ishmael, Isaac, Esau, Jacob, Joseph, Egypt, Jews, Egypt. Now, all of that happened in 400 years. And so I know that on the last video, I had messed up my numbers a little bit and accidentally said 400, and then I went back to 4,000. So the first number that you're going to give is the correct number for that is 4,000. The second number is 400. Okay, so let's start from the top. We'll go again, and I really want you to get this down, practice it, and I want to go through it at least 5 to 6 times with the kids so that they know this. So we're going to start from the top again, and we're going to go creation, fall, flood, nations, 4,000 years. Israel, Ishmael, Isaac, Esau, Jacob, Joseph, Egypt, Jews, Egypt, 400 years. And when we do those little timelines, you'll notice that 400 is about the width of my head, whereas 4,000 is about the width of my shoulders. So we're kind of visualizing how many years that would have been. So if you have any questions, please email me or call me, text, whatever, any questions that you might have about this weekend. And I hope that this weekend, I'm praying that this weekend goes well and that our kids really, really start to grasp these books of the Bible. And we will have a new Books of the Bible song this weekend, so I will have that posted on our playlist as well. So look forward to seeing how this weekend goes, and just praying for all of you, and let me know if there's anything I can do. Thanks so much.